Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. This week we're going to be doing something that's a little bit different. I generally like to play control-ish sort of decks, sometimes a little bit of mid-range. This week we are going completely aggro with a deck list from Covert Go Blue. I will put a link in the description to the deck list if you'd like to take a look at it. And this deck list that we're going to be using is Red Deck Wins. Alright, we're a little bit land light, even for this deck. Though we do have two Goblin Glory Chasers. I think that's enough for me to want to keep this hand. Let's see how it does. Goblin Glory Chaser really likes to be on the play. Getting that thing renowned is a huge bonus for this deck. Menace is quite nice, not to mention it becoming a 2/2. If we do top deck a land, putting Infectious Bloodlust on it will be quite powerful as well. Alright, so our opponent is not going to be able to stop this guy from becoming renowned, which is pretty good news for us. And we don't have a second land. That's fine. We're going to drop our second Glory Chaser and swing. We do have a pretty good chance of getting a second land within the next turn or two. We are running 22, which is a bit lower than what I usually run. But again, this is an all-out aggro deck. Just absolutely go, 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 go. The mana on Magic Duels recently has pretty much been ramp. You're either playing ramp or you're trying to play to beat ramp. And with the right draw, this deck can beat ramp. Okay, Looming Spires is great. I'm going to impulse this. We'll get a draw for the Rune Servitor there. Both of us do. We got another land. We are going to play the Looming Spires though. Give this guy +1/+1 and first strike until end of turn. And now we're going to have two Goblin Glory Chasers that are renowned. Alright. Pretty good start for us, even missing a land drop as we did. I think the Rune Servitor might have been better for us than it was for our opponent. Yeah, I don't know that Sphinx's tutelage is going to get the job done, sir or madam. Ooh, a Flaring Flamekin. It's tempting not to Infectious Bloodlust, but to save it for this. But I do have other enchantments. And I think that the damage getting in may be better overall. I don't know. And another reason against playing another creature is our opponent could untap, play a second black, and then languish. So yeah, let's go ahead and Bloodlust one of our goblins. Then we're going to swing for 6. Not only that, but it's nice to have the Bloodlust out there so that if this creature dies, we get to fetch up another one. Red's own little version of card advantage. Alright, see what we mill. Not that it really matters. Ooh. So they milled quite a bit since we are mono red. When Sphinx's Rev mills, if two of the cards match in color, then they do it again. So no second black. Alright, I'm going to swing first before we play anything else. Confirm. I'm going to attempt to Titan Strength, the one without the Bloodlust. Could be seeing bounce or... Oh, okay, a fog. That's fine. I mean, not fine. We'd much rather do the damage, but we still get to draw, to scry. I think I want that on the bottom. I would actually like to hit a 4th land at this point. And I think I want to play my slide runner here. We can play another enchantment next turn if we need to. And hopefully we will not get board wiped at this point. How many meals are going to happen this time? Just 2. Nice. The one was one of the lands that we are wanting. We'll be fine if we don't get it. It would just be really nice to have. That way I could cast 2 enchantments next turn if I need to. Mortuary Mire, so that's a slow black land. Comes into play tapped. Put a creature on top. Let's try to resolve a Call of the Full Moon on our slide runner here. And see if we can swing for lethal. I kind of expect to see a fog or a bounce or something. No? Okay, that's the game. Quick, brutal, and easy. For us, at any rate. See you in the next one. Alrighty. So, I think this is a eminently keepable hand. I'm going to see what we can do with this. I would like to be on the play, but you can't always be on the play. We're going to go Glory Chaser into Spires, perhaps even Titan Strength. Third turn into Majoring Bully. As the hand stands now, at least. If we were to draw a comes into play untapped land, we would probably play it and then play Majoring Bully. All depending on what we draw and what our opponent plays. Elvish Visionary, okay. So that makes me want to play Call of the Full Moon if I can get an untapped land. Because Call gives us Trample to get Renown. I think I'm going to play the Spires, pump this guy. I do expect my opponent to block to keep our Glory Chaser from becoming a permanent 2/2. And I will not Titan Strength. I want to drop this Foundry Street Denizen. Alright, there we go. And all in all, not a bad start so far. We want to try to kill them before they can get what their ultimate plan is going. So we're kind of at odds in that. And I think here that the play is just Call of the Full Moon on Foundry Street. Glory Chaser is going to become Renowned. That is, barring a fog. I don't believe there's any instant speed removal that could be cast for a green and a white in this format. Now, if it was 2 white, we could have got Celestial Flared, but then we would have had the choice of which to sack. Acid Moss, okay. So our opponent is ramp of some sort, as most decks at the moment online are. And we really, really would like to get... Yes, thank you. So what can we do here? We can play a Majoring Bully and pump this guy, swing for 5, 6, 7. We could double Titan Strength and swing for 12. And that may just be the best thing to do. We could just Infectious Bloodlust and save our Titan Strength for next turn. That may be better. Yeah, I'm going to Bloodlust our Glory Chaser. Try to use these in case he gets a blocker next turn. That way we can Titan Strength on whatever gets through. It's likely that they may play 2 blockers. I hope that's not the case. There's 1 blocker. And don't forget, our Foundry Street Denizen does have trample. Not going to play the mountain pre-combat. May not have to play it at all if this turns out to get there, because he can't block this, and that's only going to soak up 2 damage. Celestial Flare. Well then, I will sack this. And then he cannot block. You need 2. Titan Strength. Bottom. And we don't need to play the second one. Good game. See you in the next one. Alright. I like this hand. I really do. I will keep this. And our games so far have been some pretty fast and brutal affairs. We may be playing a mirror now, especially with this portrait. I do like to pick a portrait that matches my deck a lot of the time, even though that does give away information. I find that other people do as well. Though they could just be playing ramp. We could be seeing some green in a Gruul. Yeah, there we go. But no blocker. If we're lucky, they won't have removal either. I'm not going to Infectious Bloodlust this guy, because I don't want to get him Fiery Impulsed in response, then we lose our Infectious Bloodlust. Since it's not on him when he dies at that point, then we don't get to search for another one. Okay, so our guy got Renowned. We'll go ahead and play a Mage Ring Bully. And see what our opponent's working with here. Alright, making good land drops here. If they don't play anything this turn, I think they're in pretty bad shape. Though they could be trying to Radiant Flames us or something to that effect. I'm going to risk an Infectious Bloodlust. I'm going to put it on the Mage Ring Bully, because this forces a creature to attack every turn, and it's already forced to attack every turn, being what it is. Plus the Prowess gives it a buff there. Attack with all, please. And I'm not sure whether or not I want to drop Foundry Street Denizen and walk into a 3-point Radiant Flames if our opponent has another color, but I'm going to go ahead and go all out here. May very well be a bad play, but I'm going to risk it. No. So they can't 3-point Flames. They can destroy our enchantment, though. With the Reclamation Sage, we have a Fiery Impulse to get rid of that. Oh, a Fiery Impulse of their own. Good removal for our Bully. Okay. I'm going to play the Abbot here. Not the Firebird, because I want to be able to remove that Reclamation Sage. I don't play the land before the Abbot because he may flip up a land that we can play instead. What did he give us? A Looming Spires, that's fine. Well. Scroll down, play this card. And we'll buff our Foundry Street Denizen. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to kill this no matter what. He's not going to be doing any blocking. And then we'll be swinging for 5. And we have our Hasty Bird to play next turn. So this game is going pretty well at the moment. Having your opponent at 7 on turn 4 is okay. Pia and Kieran are a bit problematic. though they will have a hard time dealing with Firebird, I believe. Let's cast the Firebird. Then we will also play the Spires to give our Foundry Street Denizen first strike and plus. And then we will swing with everything except for our Abbot, which would just straight out die to a Thopter or to Pia and Kieran themselves. Our opponent has an interesting dilemma of how to block here. You have to double block the Goblin. It has Menace. There you go. So I think we will kill Pia and Kieran with our Goblin. That way they cannot use their artifact sack ability to kill any more of our creatures. Our opponent is at 4, which is a pretty precarious life total to be at versus a red deck. And they don't have an answer, it appears. Alright then. We will just go to attack. Swing in. Do 3 to our opponent. Probably should have played Flamekin first. I wasn't actually thinking ahead. That kind of happens when my opponent concedes to me and the AI takes over. Sometimes do apologize for that. We would have won right there if I had done so. And that's not going to stop us from winning as it sits now, though. So we will just swing in and in this game. Since these have gone so fast, I think I'll go ahead and do another match for you guys. Okay, we cannot keep this. This is way too many lands. This is a bit better, though we don't have a first turn drop. I don't think I can throw it back. As such, I'm going to play a turn 1 Looming Spires. It seems this deck is pretty good against the slow grind of the meta right now, though I do think that if one of our opponents were to play a first or second turn Jetty Offshoot, that we would find that to be a bit harder to deal with. Now hopefully we can hit a third land for our Flamekin. Otherwise we're kind of all in on this Mage Ring Bully. And it's never really a good idea to be all in on one creature, especially since we see double white and could be Celestial Flared here. Okay, I don't think I'm going to suit up my Mage Ring Bully. Yeah, we'll just attack. And there's a Celestial Flare, just as I had conjectured. We'll sack the Mage Ring Bully as it's our only choice. And I don't really see that we could get around just playing the Abbot. Hopefully we will hit a land off of it. And I don't think we did. No, we hit a Fiery Impulse. Hopefully our opponent is not holding a second Celestial Flare. Though it does look like they're not... Well, there's the third land. Might have been hoping to play a Knight of the White Orchid and leapfrog us in mana there. We may be looking at an Allies deck, black and white here. I think I'm just going to attack with my Abbot again. Then post-combat we can drop our land that we just drew and play a Flaring Flamekin. Alright. So either no second flare or our opponent doesn't want to play it at this point. Complete disregard. Okay. So they definitely do not want to let us keep our Flaring Flamekin. That guy can get pretty absurd with enchantments on him. Oh, and we see a third color from our adversary. At this point, I think we are going to suit up our abbot with a Call of the Full Moon. Maybe. No, because then we can't play a second spell this turn. I think Goblin War Paint may be better. Alright. We will swing there. And I'm not going to play the Titan Strength. Instead, I'm going to drop our Foundry Street Denizen post-combat. Now, hopefully we don't get languished. Nope, we're getting horribly errad. Well, a 1-for-1 is much better for us than a 1-for-2 or 1-for-3 as the case would have been with an enchantment in the mix. Would very much like it if our opponent would start missing land drops. When you're playing something controlling, making land drops each turn is one of the most important things that you can do. And for them to stumble on mana would be quite good for us. Though I wouldn't be too awfully sad if they played a creature that we could Fiery Impulse. Something without a whole lot of impact on the board that we can just burn out of the way and waste their turn. Alright, so there's a land drop. At long last. Ah. So, drawing for an answer then. Okay. So, once again, it's not generally a good idea to go all in on one creature, but it's the only thing that we really have going at the moment. War Paint. And no really reason to wait till we're in combat. We'll go ahead and Titan Strength. Get the scry off of that. We want that on the bottom. No need for a land at the moment. Would rather have another creature or an Exquisite Firecraft. And swing for 11. And we'll see if our opponent has found an answer in the 3 cards that they drew between last turn and this turn. Apparently there's something going on where I don't think they'd just be calmly passing back to us. Only thing to do now is swing and see what happens. Celestial Flare. Okay. Well, nothing for it. Just got to take our lumps and live with it. We will be making our land drop, though. And Exquisite Firecraft would absolutely be our best draw here, I do believe. I don't think we have Spell Mastery yet. No. But it would still be pretty good. So is Chandra, if she resolves and manages to stay in play. And it doesn't look like she's going to be. Alright. And it's looking like we may not actually be able to close the deal here. Which is one of the issues with playing a super aggressive deck like Red Deck wins. If you can't kill them fast, you probably aren't going to get there. And the Shambling Mints is really bad news for us. With the lifelink there. Although on the bright side, one more land and we can activate our Foundry of the Consuls for 2 Thopter tokens. Don't know if that would be enough though. Maybe between that and the Call of the Full Moon. And we don't have Spell Mastery again, as I said before, so we can't Fiery Impulse this to kill it. Alright. Knight of the White Orchid for no land fetch. I don't think our opponent really cares about that right now. Though I am actually kind of surprised to see they didn't swing with the Shambling Vent. Guess we will play Slide Runner. That resolved. I'm going to wait to enchant it until next turn. Don't want to make it too easy for our opponent to 2-for-1 us. Oh no. Part the Water Veil. 6 mana Time Walk. Alrighty then. And he awakened onto this, which is kind of bad for us. Okay, no, I don't want to block. I want to Fiery Impulse the sky. Thank you. This game will probably be unwinnable with our opponent gaining 8 life with the 6 counters and then the 2 power it already has when it's activated. It's pretty rough. And we won't be blocking here, I think, if we want to have any chance at all of actually pulling this out, which is very unlikely in any case with the way things have gone here. Does our opponent have anything else? Doesn't appear so. Even if we lose this, I'm not too upset. You can't win them all. And 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Especially playing with something that's not my usual forte. Gideon is even worse for us. Expect to see chump blockers parade across the board one after the other. So 4, 5. We can make him 6 power for 1 turn. This would fall off afterwards because we'd cast 2 spells. I think I'm just going to cast the Call of the Full Moon though. And the question here is, do we now swing at Gideon or at our opponent's face? I don't think it really matters. Between Gideon and the Shambling Vents, we're not going to win this. So, guess I shall take the trying to win route of swinging at my opponent's face. Yeah, we'll swing at the player. Thank you very much. Confirm. Alright. We do trample, so there is that. And I will pass because I want to keep my Call of the Full Moon. Although our opponent can make it fall off if they play 2 spells this turn. And we're getting swung at for lethal. I do believe. Yep, 8 plus 5 is 13, which is 1 more than we have. So that's that. I do thank you for joining me on this episode of Friday Night Magic. Hopefully you've liked this little foray into something that's not quite my usual style. If you liked the video, please leave a like below. It really does help. Consider subscribing to the channel. Put up content most days of the week. Magic on Fridays and some odd videos here and there throughout. But until next time, be excellent to each other.